Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Wherever you are in the world, I hope this finds you well. Today, we're going to look at the Kaspa chart, trying to find some possible downside targets in the event that the bottom is not yet in. Taking a look at the Kaspa USD chart, we can see that it's still holding this beautiful cup and handle. It is currently back testing this upper trend line, and for all we know, it could hold it and continue up higher. I know a lot of people are looking for lower prices, so let's take a look at what could possibly be a good level to buy at if the price does break down into this channel and potentially start testing this area. So drawing a Fibonacci retracement from the April high to the May low, we can get some targets. One interesting level that I see is the 0.5 retracement level, which coincides to this June peak. It also coincides with the bull market support band around 0.028. To add some more context, we can also look at the Kaspa Bitcoin pair. This one is denominated in Satoshis, just multiplied times 100 million. Also doing a beautiful cup and handle pattern. You can see that it's got this channel, sideways downward channel here, accumulating similarly to this channel that we had last time before it broke out. It seems to me that people are trading the between Kaspa and Bitcoin. You can tell because of how cleanly it's trading, bouncing off of certain moving averages, kind of obeying these trend lines. It'd be nice to see this Kaspa Bitcoin pair continue to accumulate and hold support in this level. I have a feeling that the downside on the USD pair is limited simply because the Kaspa Bitcoin pair is so bullish right now. I think that being at the bottom of this channel is going to provide some support for the USD pair. And so coming back to the Kaspa USD pair, I do think that the downside is limited. I am pretty hopeful at this level that we are going to hold either this trend line or max we come down into this ballpark and maybe wick back up in a pretty strong way and continue higher. Of course, we also need to monitor the stock market. The S&P 500 is nearing all-time highs. It doesn't mean that it can't head back down short term at the very least, as we saw in May of 2011. Once this S&P 500 got up to the 786, it came back down, it tested the 0.5. It then went on to set new highs. Currently, the S&P 500 has peaked slightly above the 786. It's coming back down a little bit. If we got back down to the 0.5 around 4,100, that would likely bring Bitcoin and the rest of crypto down, for example. So it's good to be cautious just because the stock market is getting very close to setting new highs. It doesn't mean it cannot come back down. And so while Bitcoin looks to be sitting on this resistance turned support zone, it's good to have some potential downside targets just in case things do fall down. Some really interesting levels that I see would be the 0.5 area, which coincides with around 23,500. If we look a little bit closer here, we can see that this level would be sort of a potential liquidity zone where some buyers might come in who previously sold. So that would be an interesting level here if we do break to the downside. I'm not sure that we would go much further, but anything's possible. And September is typically a red month for Bitcoin, so I understand people's hesitancy in the market right now. But in September of 2020, Bitcoin did rally, for example, so it doesn't always need to be a red month. In September of 2019, Bitcoin came down below the 20 and 21 week SMA, just as it is now. So it really just kind of hovered here but below these moving averages, and it was the COVID capitulation that sent it lower. So unless some sort of black swan happens, I personally think that Bitcoin's downside is limited at this level. Stock market looks bullish. Bitcoin's below the 20 and 21 week. Over here, we had Bitcoin in 2020 below the 20 and 21 week. And without the COVID event, we wouldn't have gotten this massive capitulation. And due to people's recency bias, a lot of people are looking at that in the chart and they're waiting. They're waiting for some massive crash. And I'm not sure it's going to happen. So I'm pretty bullish. For me, it's just a matter of how much I can safely accumulate while managing my risk. And hopefully everybody can do the same and stay in the game. If you like this content, feel free to subscribe. Please like this video. I'll see you next time.